going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharp. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And this morning we have a guest who is a friend from the mastermind. He was recently at the mastermind, and the one we did in December of 2021. Yeah, I'm really excited to have him on the show. He said he's a little nervous. I'm like, come on, you'll do great. When Amazon wasn't working, this did is what we titled the show today. Let's hear what Matthew has to say. What's up, my brother?
Not much. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. Good to see you again. Good to see you again from the mastermind.
You too. My pleasure.
So how's things been going since then? Well, actually, let me ask you this. I don't want to. What was the mastermind experience like for you?
Awesome. I mean, it was so eye-opening. Like so many like-minded people went there. Made lots of friends. Still in contact with a few of them. The one that was ironic is a man that was from Alaska. We meet in Florida, and his sister lives about 30 minutes away from me in Texas.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Small world, man. Small world.
I hear you.
Take us back and tell us, how you found Legendary in the first place. And obviously we titled this When Amazon Didn't Work, This Did. Tell us what that means and give us that kind of story in a nutshell.
I was just scrolling through TikTok, wasting time, and saw Paul in there, and I'm like, this is it. And ever since then, that was October of 21, and just put my head down and went after it. And a lot of people in the community helped me out. A lot of people talked to me at the mastermind on the side, in the hallways, on the stairs. Several people that have been doing it a lot longer, and it was it's just amazing community of support and generosity. I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah. Even on Facebook, they'll respond to my questions.
So were you doing Amazon before, or were you trying to get it up and going? Tell us just how that ties into your past.
Yeah, I've had my other business for 23 years, so I figured, when it gets slow, sometimes I'll just ship products out, and wholesale them pretty much. So the profit's real small, and the shipping and returns is a pain in the neck.
Yeah, you talking about when you're selling things through Amazon?
Yeah, FBA.
Okay. Yeah. I was just mentioning Amazon on the Decade in a Day call that I just kicked off, and for our Blueprint students. And I said that, it's interesting about Amazon and drop shipping and the sort is because these guys are making all their money through selling courses on how to, do Amazon and how to do drop shipping. And that's not to say that they haven't done Amazon or drop shipping. It's just to say that if you were to get them in a private room and ask their opinion about what's the better business model, is it actually, selling things on Amazon or doing drop shipping as you were just describing, or is it selling courses to people who want to do drop shipping in Amazon? What's better? And I guarantee you they're going to tell you that the selling of the courses and the information is better. It's easier because it's sort of like the gold rush, Matthew. Back which I'm not a history buff and know very little about, but I do know this, that there were a lot of other people who got rich, and some got richer than the actual people who were looking for the gold. And that was those who were selling the picks and the shovels along the way.
Yeah.
And information is a lot like that. Information helps you to achieve a certain goal. And it's one of the reasons why college, university, private school, and so forth have been a profitable and popular business. It's not just because it helps kids. It's because they can command $50,000, per year or per degree or whatever it is. And that's a lot of money. That's a high ticket sale, right? One of the highest in society.
Yeah.
So this business model, and I would assume you're doing affiliate marketing, which is even simpler because you're selling somebody else's information, only focusing on the marketing. Talk to us a little bit about the business model itself, the ease of it, the simplicity of it, the intelligence of it, and in comparison to some of the other businesses that you've done, maybe even the one that you currently have. Talk to some of the new people who are listening about, because a lot of people think they can't do this,
Yeah.
and they're focused on the video part or whatever. They say, well, I can't do that. They're like, oh, well, I could do another business, but they don't understand that doing another business entails 50,000 things that this doesn't. And if you could just overcome like one or two things that are kind of scary to you, it'd be so much better than avoiding this because you don't want to do that one thing and going and doing a business that's much more complicated. So could you talk about this business model, what you like so much about it, and even what have you had to overcome in order to enjoy some of the spoils of this business model that you might not have if you would have quit because you were a little uncomfortable?
Yeah, I've had my other business for 23 years, brick and mortar, audio video retail store. It's kind of like a small Best Buy. I don't have a storefront anymore, but you talked about expenses. That first day when you sign the lease and get your utilities going, and then the phone book lady comes in. 18 years ago when I started my first store, first I started with five years working for somebody else. The phone book lady comes in to sell me a phone book ad is $900 a month 18 years ago.
Holy crap.
And then the newspaper person, the ads are just, the marketing opportunities out there are just unbelievable. And the overhead is crazy. So
I'm getting a bit of a freeze here with Matthew. I don't know if everybody else is. He's frozen right now for me.
expenses. Did I
Sorry,
lose you?
Matthew. You froze there, and but I got the vibe. It's expensive as shit to run a brick and mortar business, and I got it.
Yeah.
So talk to us now about this. What's different about this? But what have you traded off for some of that ease and simplicity? What has been much easier about this? And then what has been some of the things that have been more difficult? Because I don't want to make it sound like it's a field of flowers and unicorns,
No,
but I want people to understand that there's some difficult things about this, but in comparison to other options, they're not as scary. They're just things that we need to push through a little bit. But anyways, what were some of those things for you?
for me, another great thing is you don't have to drive anywhere very much. My truck sits there for a couple, probably get the truck out 2 or 3 times a week. Before it was every day. So what's easier about this than what I used to do? I still do a little bit, very little, maybe once every couple weeks for a VIP customer, but everything is easier. This is if you have your own business, typical brick and mortar store, this is so much easier in every aspect. I can't even picture one thing other than getting on an interview like this. This is nerve-wracking for me, but
Well,
I've done hundreds of lives. That don't bother me, but for some reason, this is probably as hard as I get. I guess if you ask me, because I don't. I feel like I'm on the news or something.
yeah. No,
So
it's fine, man.
I can't. I'm not a man of few words. Usually, I can talk to a stranger at the grocery store, no problem. I can chat it up with anybody, but something about this today. Cat's got my tongue.
You're fine. Well, it was funny about hanging out with you before was, when we did the board break, and I remember because you didn't have anything written down on your
Yeah,
wood, and and I thought I didn't know what to think, like because you were just hard to read in that moment. But I realized that this just means a lot to you, and that you really want this to work. I mean, that's what I realized. That's what I learned about you. I mean, because I mean, everybody, understand this. We're sitting in how I kind of noticed Matthew was we're sitting in a huge circle of people who are about to break boards, and we all write our limiting belief down, and you didn't have one written down yet. And, I learned over the weekend that this is important to you, that you want to get this right. You want to get out of this, that you want to get the most out of this.
Definitely.
That's kind of what I experience with you, and so where do you feel like that motivation is coming from? I mean, where do you feel, there's so many people who just don't care, or who are too skeptical. They think that could never be true or whatever. And that could absolutely be you, man. And I almost thought it was you at first, because you were hard to read. And I was like, no, this guy like really wants this to work. This guy's a hardworking guy who really cares. And why do you, there's so many people, Matthew, that I've met over the years that have given up so easily, or have, what is pushing you? What is driving you, even when I can tell, I know this is all brand new for you?
Yeah. I grew up really poor, and I don't want to end up back in that position. I made plenty of money in my other business, but I don't want to get on ladders anymore. I'm getting older, 48.
Yeah.
And I scratched myself. I went to reset the router yesterday on the Wi-Fi, barely scratched myself, and I looked like I cut myself with a knife.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't heal as quickly, so I don't want to jeopardize my health for money. So it doesn't matter how much I charge the my typical audio video customers, you're still putting your health on the line, your safety on the line in a lot of situations, getting on top of RVs, sometimes on
Crazy.
roofs, climbing underneath things, always on a ladder practically. So that's the biggest thing to me, is I don't want to get physically hurt over trying to make money.
Right. That's a great point. I don't know if anybody ever has, has moved into this midlife time and got an injury, but it is an eye opener, man. I mean, I remember when I would pull a muscle and be back the next day, it felt like. And
Yeah.
nowadays, I mean, I was coughing the other day and I pulled a muscle in my stomach. It was unbelievable. I mean, I'm just like, holy shit, I just pulled a muscle in my stomach from coughing. So I get that. Talk to us a little bit about, TikTok. You've got almost 70,000 followers on TikTok. I mean, if I was to pass you by somewhere, I'd think there's no way that guy, if I was to just, there's no way this guy's got an online marketing business, is creating content on TikTok. I mean, this guy's a blue collar guy. This guy's a guy who works with his hands. This guy's no way. And yet here you are. What talk to us about this transition? I mean, talk to us about doing something that is, to me, at least I'm assuming it's so different than what you've done before.
Oh,
how are
man.
you pushing through some of the feelings, whether the feeling is that was stupid, or it sucked, or I feel stupid, or I feel silly, or I don't know. I don't know what has been going through your head, but talk to us about some of the things that have come up, and what are you saying to yourself instead? Aren't those things not coming up anymore? Are you in mode to where those kind of thoughts no longer, because I don't really have those thoughts anymore, but I know a lot of people who are newer do. What is it like to do something that's, I'm assuming, so drastically different than what you did before?
It's awesome. But yeah, it's funny you say that. You wouldn't think that I would have this TikTok account the way it is, because two of my kids say, I cannot believe you have more followers than I do. I got way more. And then one of my kids' friends come over here the other day and says, holy cow, man, congratulations. I don't even know this kid. First time I met him. Congratulations on your TikTok. What the heck? I'm even following you. He's like 16.
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
just one step at a
That's
time.
great.
It's
Here you are.
snowballs.
I mean, look, this is real. We are in the phase of our life, brother, you and me, to where our cool points from our kids' perspectives are way down. But I'm
Yeah,
thinking that is this bringing up our value? Is this bringing up the cool factor for us as
I'd have to say
dads?
so. I'd have to say so
I
because
like
I'm just
that.
telling you what my kids say.
I'm digging it. I like that. So any of you who have kids and you want more cool points, I mean, especially if you're a dad, I don't think moms deal with this that much, but I feel like my wife's kind of still as cool as she was quite a few years ago, maybe even when I met her, and I've just slowly become weirder, nerdier, less funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm more funny now because I'm fatter. I look funnier. But man, wow, that's great that you're getting those brownie points from the kids.
Yeah,
Um,
it's amazing.
it's really cool, and I hear that a lot. I hear that quite a bit. So talk to us about what do you think what has worked for you really well? I mean, what if you were listening into this show today, listening to somebody, and because I hear this all the time. I hear people who come on the show who say, I heard this on the show and it changed it. I did that. And then that's how I'm on the show. And kudos. I think it was Matthew Craig, who said, so tell me what has worked for you on TikTok? Like what have you done? Was it a slow, I think shit's starting to work now? Or was it a holy crap, burning bush moment that really changed everything?
It definitely wasn't as fast as I thought it would be, but this type of business, it's snowballs. So once you get a little bit of traction, it's like a penny a day for a month. You know how that saying goes? Double a penny a day or double the value of the penny a day.
Yeah.
I can't remember how it goes, but then you end up with
Right.
over $1 million
Right.
at the end of the day over a penny, starting with one penny in 1 month. So I really like watching this show because you can tell everybody's so natural. It's not like we're practicing this, which I would have preferred, but you watch this every day and it gives me inspiration because I'm like, that person's just like me. They're just a few steps ahead of me.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people I've watched on here, especially the younger people. You're like, surely if they can do it, I can do it. They don't have the experiences I have. I can talk to people about lots of things because I've had lots of experiences, being super poor to being even way better off than I am now. Back 10 years ago when my business was really going well for my audio video business. I had 5-6 people working for me. Guess what? I don't miss that at all. I'm telling you
Mm,
what, that's a headache.
mm.
Employees and customer service, always having to answer the phone 24/7, which I had a
Yeah.
secretary and all that stuff too. But it's just a whole different deal that a lot of people dream about their whole lives. I've had many people tell me, how did you get the courage to go out in there and start a brick and mortar store? I said, well, I just got sick of it one day. My boss, it wasn't really a boss, I was a contractor. I go on vacation for a week, which isn't a vacation. I just went to South Dakota to visit my family. It's not like some glamorous thing. Come back. Well, he had already gotten 2 other guys to do what I was doing, and they were charging less. I'm like, that's it. If he can do it, I did the same thing in this business as I did in that business. If he can do this little brick and mortar store, nothing fancy, I can do it. And I'd been working for
Mm.
him for a couple of years. So anyway, once you go to from that type of situation where most people dream about, I thought I was good before I got into doing this affiliate marketing. I thought, well, maybe I'll start a liquor store, maybe I'll start a bar, maybe I'll start
Mm.
I didn't know. I was thinking about small franchises.
Which would have all been traps,
Yeah,
and would have possibly gone out of business because of how restaurants have been affected by all this stuff that's been going on health concern wise.
exactly.
Those are the first things to get shut down, the first things to go to half capacity, whatever. worst business you want to get in right now, folks. Worst
Right.
business you want to get in right now.
I agree. I totally agree. I'm so glad I didn't do it, because that's like, you're all in.
I would be afraid to put any money in any offline business right now. Why we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we're on the brink of World War III. We've got still stuff popping up with this health stuff we've been going through for a couple of years. So, we have to be mobile. We got to be able to move around. We got to be flexible. And quite frankly, I don't want all my money tied up in an operation or a company or a business right now. I want to be flexible. I want to be working towards building a business that's going to be pumping out cash flow so I can go and live my life. If I want to move, if I want to, whatever I want to do, I want to have that flexibility and freedom. The less things I have tying me to anything in these times, I think are better. I think are better. That's just my philosophy.
I
Um,
agree.
if my livelihood is tied up to a location, and what an absolutely devastating and horrible example. But God forbid if anybody, I know everybody doesn't live in America, and this is hard to imagine in America. Um, but God forbid if anything ever happened like what's going on in Ukraine to any of us in any country. And by the way, so much love and just respect and admiration for those folks right now who are going through just the time of their life. But just imagine, um, if something like that happened, in your life got wiped out, and now all of a sudden you have no ability to generate income. Unfortunately, that happened to a lot of people over the last couple of years, even right here in the United States. And obviously, the government, started sending out money, and people got involved in the gig economy and stuff like that, right? But man, folks, the world. What's my point here? It's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. And where I think we need, where I'm trying to be is mobile and flexible. So if something, if I need to move, if something happens, I've got essentially cash flow and money in the cloud, right? My money's coming from the cloud. It's not dependent upon a physical location, me either going there or that physical location being in business. And that's a very different business than both you and I operated before, Matthew. You operated in a brick and mortar audio, car audio. I was doing construction. So what are your plans for the future, my friend? Where do you see things going in 2022? Are you just head down? I'm staying in today, or do you have some sort of a place, a north star that you're traveling towards?
Yeah, I think just more of the same. Why try to reinvent the wheel? The get more into Instagram and maybe Pinterest, but I don't want to get diluted, so I'm just focusing on TikTok right now. It's doing good, doing great.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't have anything better. I do 4 lives a day, 3 or 4 TikToks. So I'm
Wow.
busy. I'm not letting up. I just it's easy. Why not? You know.
Yeah. I agree, and it's easy to me, Matthew, and I got to be careful about using that word because it's
Yeah.
not easy to everybody. But let's just, for the sake of that word, let's just throw it around here for a moment. It is when you finally, I think, with the phone, let's just say that you're gonna do some video marketing and you're gonna use your phone, right? when you finally stop being so afraid and of the phone, or like it's this big, and it becomes your friend, you realize it's a business partner, it's an employee, however you want to look at it, it's a friend, it's like talking FaceTime to your girlfriend, whatever however you want to look at it, it's a very non-threatening thing. I can't get hurt. I mean, emotionally, I could get my feelings hurt, but there's no threats to me. Once I embrace this, I start having a lot of fun. I start having a lot of fun. And quite frankly, it does become easy. It does become easy because I'm doing this anyways all day long, aren't I? Don't I have the phone in my hand? Aren't I doing FaceTime sometimes? Now we're jumping on Zooms. In one way, shape, or form, if you're gonna participate in the real world, the economy, you're gonna have to interface with people. You're either going to have to interface people at a cash register, okay, and everybody's coughing on you as they're coming through, or you're going to have to interface with maybe your cell phone, or interface with and it really, when we compare those two, what do I want to do? Do I want to stand at a cash register all day, every day, interface with people, talk to them through a piece of glass, or have them coughing on me, or whatever? Or can I hold up my phone and talk into it 15 seconds, 2 or 3 times a day? And when
Yeah.
I start comparing those things and then I actually do it, I think a lot of people future trip on things that they haven't even tried yet. There's a couple of things that can be helpful to, say, doing a video or going live. One of the things that I've found helpful is a lot of times when I have something to hold the phone, that's helpful. Because then I'm not shaking the phone all around and I'm not walking. But if I have something to hold the phone, kind of like what's happening right now, I'm doing the live through my webcam on my camera. I got a standing desk, right? So watch this. I don't know about you, but I like to be able to stand up sometimes and talk and walk, pace back and forth. Sometimes I have more energy so if I wanted to do a TikTok video and I wanted to set it up on a tripod, and I've leaned it up on shelves with just to act like it's on a stand or something. That's been one of the things that's helped me to do videos to where my hands were free. I felt a little bit more like myself, like I was kind of standing around, maybe talking to some friends or something. What's helped you, Matthew? What are 1 or 2 things that you do whenever you go to like film a video or something that's helpful? Is there any preparation that you do? Is there something that you do right before, something that you try to keep in mind when you're recording, a way you start off your videos?
I get my inspiration from other people on TikTok. Really, I just redo it my way a lot of times, because trying to do it their way doesn't seem to work for me. So I just go for it. Used to be 5, 10, 15, 20 takes. Now it's just like we're doing one and that's going to work or it's not going to work. When I said easy, I don't mean easy. I meant easier. This is easier than anything else that I've ever done to make money.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
clarify.
man. That one, well, it's fine. We can throw around some easy words every once in a while, get a little context and throw it out there. Um, I agree about the one take thing. I used to be a 20 taker and, just nitpicking myself and rewatching the video. And I do none of that now. It's one take and it's, if I fumble bumble, one of the biggest things that helped me was if I like felt like I fumbled or something, just keep talking, Dave. Don't stop and make a big deal out of it. Don't stop the video. Don't be like, you don't have to start over. Just keep talking and nobody even cares. That was a massive breakthrough for my video marketing. Have you gotten to that effort point yet? Do you
Definitely.
really, if you fumble bumble, you're really going? I guess that's what you
Right.
just said, but are you
Definitely.
thinking about it like that and you got tired of the multiple takes and all that crap?
Yeah. It gets exhausting.
Yeah, it does.
It
It does.
just go for it and put it out there. see what happens. I mean, some of the ones that some of my videos that have took off, I thought nothing. The ones I thought I had perfect, nope. So it goes opposite sometimes.
And quite frankly, a lot of the ones that aren't perfect, that have an actual human being a real human being in the video, connect a lot more, because I mean, something that you just said was, you know, I like this show because I feel like it's a real conversation and there's no bullshit and all that. Same thing with video. I mean, if people feel like you're bullshitting them, you're totally, you know, or yeah, sometimes stumbling and bumbling makes it real. Do you ever use a script or a teleprompter app or anything like that? Or you to the point now to where you're always right off the top of the dome?
Yeah, if there's certain words I catch in other TikToks that I want to use, and it's not just people in our line of work or our line of our this type of business. It's the other types of inspirational things also. If I get theirs, I'll put it on my favorites and watch it from my iPad and try to get the words down. But then I just think about it about 3 times, what I'm going to say, and then I just go for it. And that seems to be working for me. And that's the best thing I can tell you. Because remember, the word that I put on my board was perfect. Remember?
Yes.
You pulled that out of me. That really helped change my perspective on life too, because I've always been super anal and super particular. Wow. And now I'm like, you know what? I guess if the trash gets taken out today by my son, great. If it doesn't, we'll just deal with it. However, because he for some reason can't remember to take out the dang trash.
And when he doesn't take out the trash, it just drives you crazy, right?
Oh yeah. Now I don't anymore. I really, even since I left the mastermind, I've lost 20 pounds. I've been saying this on my lives lately, just because of the eye-opening, the limiting beliefs that I used to have that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the amount of support and everything that y'all give. I appreciate it so much.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. And we're just thrilled. I mean, these conversations make it all worth it, which is one of the reasons why I love to have them. So look, there's a lot we could talk about, and I want to have a follow-up conversation with you. I want to keep the conversation going. And so come back and keep us posted here in a couple of months and let us know how you're doing. And let's have conversation number 3, you know, mastermind, then a show, and then another one. And let's keep on doing it, brother. All right.
All right. Thanks, sir.
All right, Matthew. We'll talk to you later, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, dude. All right, my friends. Well, look at that. Of course, Matthew, he was nervous, but he crushed it, just like every single one of you do who come on the show. And I want to thank you all for doing so, because, you know, it adds a more real flavor, realistic flavor to the show. And, you'd get tired of hearing me all the time. So I'm just thankful that you guys are willing to come on and share, you know, how you're using the information that we're putting out there, because, you know, any information that I ever put out there is not, you know, the end all be all. You know, somebody uses it and then they're like, you know, well, I used it this way. And then we, you know, it's a living organism, and it's turned into a really cool thing. And, so much of that is because of the students and just because of you, all of you, people like Matthew, who take the education and embrace the exercises and the things that we're doing here, like he mentioned at the mastermind, and have real shifts. That was powerful what he said at the end. I appreciate him saying it, and makes it all worth it for both us, but also for you, because what's more powerful and what could possibly make you more happy than transformation? And then you sprinkle some money on top of that transformation, it gets real fun. So have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. Get out of here. Go do something legendary. And we'll see you back here for another episode on Monday. Peace.